everyone, this is Tammy at Snowstorm Crafts, and today we are going to be doing mixed media collage with household items. So things that you can find around the house, we are going to do and make some fun little book journal pages and stuff like that. And also I'm going to show you guys how to make a homemade texture paste, just with like homemade items that you probably have just hanging around. Okay, if you could, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and you guys can see my next video when I post it. Like, comment, and share, and let's grow together. Okay, just to let you guys know, my neighbors are they're cutting limbs, and they got like a big forest truck over there where they're putting it through and cutting limbs and stuff. So if you guys hear that, that's what's happening. And of course, as I'm videoing here. But that's okay, we're gonna keep on going. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna start with a regular waffle cone box that we had hanging around. So a food box. This is great for if you don't have any like chipboard or, you know, like thick cardstock kind of stuff. This stuff is amazing. And I love using it in journals because I love recycling and, you know, reusing, reduce, reuse, recycle. Why not? Okay, so we're just gonna take it apart, and it's always glued together. You can see there's a little flap that's in there, and you just take it and peel it open like that, and then you got all this to work with. So why wouldn't we use it, you know? Okay, so I'm just gonna take it, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just cut it in to strips that I want. All right, so I'm gonna just work with this piece right now, and I'm gonna turn it this way. So what we have is magazine pages, which are great to collage with. We're gonna start off collaging. So we got that. Got book pages. I got some pattern pieces here, which are great to work with. Tissue paper that I went ahead and spritzed, and you can do it like in a little spray bottle and do like, you could do tea, avocado dye, onion dye, but I happen to use just RIT dye, and I use this on my tie-dye banner flags in my Etsy shop and my rainbow gift bags that I make. So I use all kinds of colors of RIT dye, so I figured I have it and it's liquid. And you just dilute it down, but you can do, like I said, tea or coffee or anything like that. So that's something you can use from home. Some more pattern paper, some music paper, avocado dyed, some coloring papers, just those fun color, and I cut them up. More magazine, more of this, and newspaper. Lined paper is great too, avocado dyed, and then newspaper clippings. So these are all just different ideas that you could just grab around your house, you know, things that you usually have just laying around. Just go through it, rip them in, you know, any way you want, and just get them all set up here. And oh, and also tea bags. I use tea bags, and I onion dyed and avocado dyed these. So that's why they're a little bit different colors. So I got tea bags and whatever else you can grab around you. So we're gonna start off with this stuff right here. And I'm just gonna start ripping and gluing down. And what I have in here is some PVA, just regular Elmer's glue. I got some of that, and this one I just kind of mix it until it's liquidy enough. So I do Elmer's glue, some water, and if you want to take the shine like out of magazine pages and stuff, you can add a little bit of either cornstarch or just some baby powder. And this is just pure cornstarch. There's no talc in it or anything, so it's just pure cornstarch. Just to kind of take the shine. It helps take the shine out of like magazine pages and stuff like that. But we're going to use this just to glue down, and you can see it's just watery. I'll show you. So you just want it to kind of just be a consistency of just pretty watery. And yeah, you don't even need the baby powder or anything. So it works really good. And you can make it even a little runnier if you want. Okay. So I kind of just eyeball that just to make it a little runny. Okay. So now, make sure you guys can see, this is the fun part here, is we're just gonna start gluing some stuff down. Okay. So I just take this and just kind of slap her down, just like that. And I also, just for to help it with time's sake, I have a heat gun. So I can do that too when time lapses, just to kind of make this faster here. So that's all I'm doing, is just grabbing my papers and go ahead and just start gluing them down. And it's gonna curl on you, but you can also press it under a book when it's all dry, and just press it overnight, and that helps a lot too. And then as it dries, it won't be as curled. But so we're just kind of layering here. I'm just starting off doing these. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this in a time lapse, and you guys will see me I'm just layering it up. And as you can see, there's just no rhyme or reason. I just kind of did, this is just the first layer of what we're doing. And then I'm gonna go ahead and blow dry it and get it dried. And then we'll do some stamping with some household items. Okay, before we start stamping, I'm going to add some texture. Just make sure it's all glued here. I want to add some texture down first, and you can use drywall tape, which is really good for this, just to add some texture. And I mean, maybe you guys have some laying around in your garage. I know my husband, he's a carpenter, so I'm like, do you have texture, you know, the drywall tape? And he's like, yeah, I think I do out there. So we went and actually found some. And is well used, well loved, I mean, for sure. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of go diagonal. So it's got a little sticky on it too, which is nice. So that gives it some texture here. So you can do a little piece there. Let's see, and just maybe a little smaller piece here. Just like that. Okay, and you can take masking tape, just some of this. Let's see, we'll rip. And then just kind of take it and bunch it up. Because you're just trying to go for the texture here. And we're gonna go ahead and just paint over the top of it with some like, you can do some gesso or acrylic paint or anything, just to kind of, so there you go. You can see how the texture, you can get a little texture going. So we're just building up our collage here. And having some fun along the way. So I hope you guys are getting out all your household items and looking at them differently and going, yeah, I can definitely do something with that. You just got to look at it a little bit different. You got to think a little outside the box and just see what will work, and then your mind will just start doing that, and you'll see all kinds of things and be like, oh geez, I can use that as a texture, you know. So I'm just kind of doing that, and we can even do small here. I'm just kind of getting it all like I want it. Okay, and then I'm gonna take just some gesso. I mean, you can use acrylic paint, you can use, you know, either one, you know, however you want to do it. You can even try to just do watercolors. I don't know how, it would probably run off the tape, but try whatever you desire. I think I need a new paintbrush. Okay. I'm just gonna go like this, do a little squirt, and just kind of give it a base here. And then I think I'm gonna add some, I think I'm gonna do pink. I think I'm gonna do, see what I can find. I'll have to go look in my paints over there. But I think my next journal I wanna do is, I wanna do kind of pink tones with it. Maybe pink and yellow. Because if you guys haven't seen my playlist on my Bee Junk Journal series, you have to go check it out. Go check out my playlist. I show you guys how I make it. And yeah, I'm having fun making those kinds of journals, so I'm gonna just kind of stick with those for a while. And I got a yellow one that I did, and then I got a blue of the main colors, and then I was thinking pink. I think pink would be a fun color to throw in there. Okay, so let's just do this. You can just see how it gives you some texture. So I just went and taped or painted the tape a little. But we're gonna keep layering everything up. All right. So let's just go from there. Do a little bit of that. And you can also, let me dry this. I'm gonna go ahead and get it dried real quick. All right, so the next thing I wanna do before I paint some pink on, it's just bright magenta, but I can add white to it if I need to and maybe lighten it up. But that's all I have for pink for some reason. I'll have to get some more. And this is just something you can get like at Walmart or any kind of store like that. It's cheap, just apple barrel. It works great, just acrylic. So I want to show you guys the recipe for the texture paste. And let's see. I got it all stirred. But you can see it's definitely thicker like that. And let's see. So what I did was 1 part gesso. So you can either do acrylic white. You can do acrylic white, 1 part, or gesso. And I went ahead and just did the gesso, the acrylic gesso. And it's just white. And then 1 part baby powder or cornstarch. And this is just pure cornstarch anyway, like I said, with just some smell scent to it. So baby powder, so 1 part gesso, 1 part baby powder, and then 1.5 PVA glue or school glue, just Elmer's or whatever you got. So 1.5 of this. Then mix it up really good. And I just did a chopstick. Whoa. Wow, I almost spilt water everywhere. I just did a chopstick, and you just mix it until you get it to the thickness you want. And if it doesn't seem like it's thick enough, you can just add a little more baby powder, because this is what thickens it, is the cornstarch. I'm just gonna add a little bit more, but that's the ingredients to it. And as you see, you could just slowly mix it in. I mean, I don't know if you can get it too thick. Maybe. But what would it be, like concrete? You have like super thick. So I'm thinking, yeah, just add, and then you don't like let it sit, you know, maybe 20 15 minutes, because it'll thicken, and then just look at it, see if you like the consistency of how thick it is. And then if you don't, just add a little bit more baby powder to it, or cornstarch. So as you can see, it's just like a thicker paste here. So what we're gonna do is play around. I love doing this mixed media stuff. I would love to hear in the comments if you guys love just playing around and experimenting and seeing what you come up with. I mean, it's just so much fun. It's so much fun. Okay. And then I just got one of these, which is a trowel, I think, or a, I don't know, let me know in the comments. I think it's a trowel though, like a, pretty sure that's what it is. It's a doohickey. Okay, now what you can do is make your own stencil, which I did this from the corrugated, just corrugated cardboard. Whoops, I mean bump you guys. And I just ripped the paper off the back of it, and it all came off nicely. So it's like a thicker kind of paper here, like a craft paper. And I just ripped little holes in it. I just took it, pinched it like this, and just ripped little holes in it. So you can make your own stencils like that. So this is a good homemade like stencil you can do. Okay, and let's try it. I'm just gonna stick it down here. Get a good amount of this. And then just kind of wipe it down. And you don't want to scrape off what you have in the holes because you want those to poke up. You want to keep that stuff there. There we go. So that's kind of cool. And then I wonder if you could take this side and just kind of stamp it. Let's see. Maybe just stamp it down. Yeah, that kind of gives you a little texture. Okay. Let's throw that to the side. And then make sure to have like a wet wipe or a wet washcloth or something like that, just because we're gonna make a mess. That's the way I like it. Okay, so we got that. And then let's go to another part here and see what we can do. And I also got just the circle punches. I just take just the circle punch, and I popped holes in it into some like, I think it was built up like garden book pages, so they're like thicker, and it had a collage over the top of it, so it's thick. Okay. Let's see. So we're just seeing what we come up with here. All right. So there we go. We got some circles. This just gives us added texture. Okay. Put that to the side. So yeah, let's see how this all turns out. And then I got these fun I have a Cricut machine, and it just is on stencil paper here. And I wonder if I can just stick it down, but I think I could just hold it down. It does come undone though, it comes unstuck. Here, maybe having it stick down might help a little bit. Let's see, I don't know where to put it. Let's go on top of the tape here. So maybe having something that sticks. Let's see, I don't know, I'm not sure. We're experimenting together. So I might need something that's a little more bumped up, like what we've been using, like cardboard, and this might be too flat. But you don't know until you try. That's the fun part, is just seeing what you come up with here. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna just peel it up. Oh, that turned out pretty good. I mean, you can see it like that. And then maybe we're gonna let it dry. I'll dry it and then we can do some paints over the top and see how it comes out. But I don't think that's too bad. Here, let's do another one right here. Since we already have it out. Okay. And I'm thinking I want to do some butterflies throughout too. Some butterfly and bees. Because I like both. Butterflies are fun. Okay, let's see. So I'm just kind of putting it on. And then maybe if we scrape a little more. It's kind of neat with the texture behind it, the drywall tape. Okay. There we go. Yes. So definitely it's working, I would say. Now, what I'm gonna do, what else can we, oh, I wanted to do one more thing here. Let's try this. So I got an alphabet, just, it's stencils. So whatever stencils you guys have hanging around, I'm sure, whoops, I'm gonna bump everything. I'm sure you guys have some kind of stencils just hanging. And if not, you could do, like I showed you, just do some ripping on, you know, you can make some holes and stuff in cardboard or on thicker paper or anything like that. And then just make some homemade texture paste. And this stuff seems to be doing the job, huh? I like it. So I'm just putting a good amount down and then kind of just scraping some back. Just getting it in all the grooves here. So what we're doing is just building up texture and stuff. So that's, you know, that's what collaging's about. It's just kind of the depths of it and the textures of it and the feel and stuff. It's just the different colors, the different smoothness, you know. I mean, that's what the textures are, but, you know, the roughness and all the fun. Well, I think I might have did too much. That's okay. That's okay. Like I said, it just gives you kind of a good texture, you know, happening. So what I'm going to do, well, here, I also have a rose. Should we try roses? Let's do a rose real quick. So I just want to get all my bumpy, layered stuff down real quick. Let's just try it right here. So maybe I don't need as much. Let's do a little less here. Okay, well, it's a little better. And like I said, you could thicken your, thicken it up too, if you need to. Or maybe as it sits overnight, because I just made it today, so maybe if it sits longer, it might work better. But you can see, I mean, it's doing the textures. It's getting us some nice textures in the background. And then once we collage on top with some other stuff and, you know, paint and all that, you're not gonna, it's all about just the texture part of it more than what it is. So it just helps. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it all dried off real quick. I think our homemade texture paste turned out pretty good. I mean, we definitely got some texture and some bump up. So I think it turned out really good. And this is what it looks like. So we got our, it's starting to do its thing and get a little thick. So like I said, if it's a little thin on that you don't like, just add a little cornstarch or baby powder. And make sure you have an airtight lid to go on top. so you can store it. So I think we're done with this one for now. Okay. Now what I want to do is, and I got this dry. I mean, it's a little tacky, but I think it'll be okay. Let's go ahead and use a little pink. Let's do a little bit of pink here. Okay. I'm just gonna just do a tad. Just a wee bit. If it's not clogged on me. Oh, here we go. So it's kind of like a magenta here. What is it? Is that what it said? Yep. All right, so I just wanted a tad bit of color. And the next thing I want to do is I'm going to take some of my tea bags and my pattern paper, some things that are kind of transparent, and just do a little collaging over the top. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm just going to use pretty much my glue and water stuff, little paste here. So now we're going to the next layers. So let's see. Let's see, it just gives it some texture. And you're able to like see through. So tea bags are fun. They're great. So save your tea bags for sure. See, and I just wanted the pink just kind of to pop through, but not too, whoa, that's pink. Just a little bit, you know. Okay, and then pattern papers here are great to play with because they got the writing on them and all that fun stuff. So you see, it just gives it depth, you know, because you got stuff underneath it and you're like, whoa, what's under there? And it just makes you look at it, and it creates interest. So I'm going to keep doing this. I'll put it on time lapse, and I'm just going to kind of just use some little things, maybe some newspaper too, and just little things to collage up on top. I want to show you guys real quick. I'm going to go ahead and spritz just some, like I said, you could do tea in here, or avocado dye or onion dye, or, you know, a coffee. Just kind of, you know, water it down, but just a little spritz. And you could do this after too, but just remember you can do some of this, some spritzing and stuff, just to add a little bit of something. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys. I went ahead and put like it's a garden book paper down, and see how it's shiny like that? Well, the baby powder mixture over here will take the shine out of the magazine page or shiny book pages or anything like that. But I noticed, like, when it's darker in the background, it kind of poofs up a little bit. Like, it won't really take the color, or it won't take the baby powder. So it's kind of has shiny spots through it. And I don't know why. It's something to do with the pigment, I guess, in the paper color or something. But like the lighter and stuff, it's really gonna take it out. like it takes out the shine. But if you don't like the look of that one, what you can do is take just a cheap napkin, and it's just a 1-ply, and they're folded like this, and you get them in a stack. And I have tons of these. And you just take the 1-ply, just go ahead and rip it to where you want it, and then just set it on top of your magazine page. And I have a video that tells you, I think it's the 6, I have one that's a three ways to take the shine out of magazine pages, and I'll link that one below. And then I have another one too that'll help like with calendar and stuff like that. So, and yeah, I'll put that one down below too, just so you guys can come check them out and see there's different textures you can use and different techniques to take the shine out of magazine pages. That really helps. Okay, so this, it will definitely dry, and I'll show you the end result of what it will look like. After it dries, it looks like this, which is so cool to me. I really love it. And I mean, you got a little shine in there, but it just really, the texture is so worth it. And then this is the other side. It was shiny, like really shiny. And I think it just soaked through. I don't know if I actually painted this part, but what it does is it just gives it a nice, like kind of leathery feel to it. But this is one way you could do to take the major shine out of like magazine pages and stuff. So that's something you can use in a collage technique. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. And then I will post those links below too, so you guys can come check them out. Okay. And what I'm doing now is just, I added some newspaper clippings, some calligraphy paper, book pages, a garden page here, some more newspaper clippings, what else? The tea bag, and then part of the patterns, simplicity patterns here, and did that. I thought that was cute. So I'm just gonna I wanna keep layering it up. I'm gonna put some more tea bags and stuff on it, and we'll go from there. Dried, and as you can see, the napkin butterfly over here, I think it turned out really cool. And when it dries all the way, like it's still a little bit damp, it just turns out so neat. I just love it. I think it's great. Great texture. So now I want to show you guys some stamping things techniques you can use with some stuff around the house. Just any kind of home items you got hanging around. So I have plants in my house. So if anybody has plants, these are great. This one fell off. It was falling off anyway, so I figured I'd use a couple of these. So I'm going to take a little bit of gesso, and I want to get the veins in the back here, the back of the leaf, or go out to the yard and find some leaves out there. I mean, I don't know if you guys have snow. We woke up here in Oregon and snow, just tons of snow coming down. And we're out in the valley, and that's, I mean, it happens, but not like this morning. I mean, it's kind of all melted now, but it was crazy. I was like, there's snow. Okay, so I'm just gonna go like this. So I just put some with the paintbrush. Or you can go, go collect them outside, wherever, lift up some branches on the ground, and maybe you'll find some leaves just hanging out. Okay, let's see. And then it just kind of gives it, you can even water it down a little bit too. You can do a little water down. Let's see. So So just kind of play with it. You can even do different colors of acrylics and stuff. But it just kind of gives it another, yes, you guessed it, texture. And that's what we're going for. It's just kind of anything to give it interest. Or another layer to, you know, look at and feel. I mean, even if it doesn't really make sense, if you look at it and just go, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. Just gives it something, just a little bit of something. So there you go. You can see that. Let's make sure you can see that. But yeah, see the print? So leaf imprints are great, and those are handy. Those are things you can find around your house. We did that. We could do a little more spritzing just to kind of give it character here. A little spritz. And what else do we got? Let's see. I had it all piled up in my pile of madness here. Whoa. Okay, so this is a Nutter Butter container for cookies. And I have not had Nutter Butters in years. And they had a sale going on at the store yesterday, and I went, yep, I want some Nutter Butters. And my mom and I were talking on the phone, and we were coming up with ideas of what to use around the house to stamp with. And she came up with the cookie. She goes, the bottom of a cookie container always has like cool, you know, stripes or patterns or something. And I'm like, that's a great idea. So when I went, I was like, well, I have to buy cookies. So I had to buy cookies. And then thank God my son was here last night, and I'm like, help me eat these cookies. So, geez, just take them. Gee. But anyway, so now you guys have a reason, an excuse to go out and go buy some cookies. So you just be like, nope, I have to go buy cookies, because it's a great way to do this. Nah. So there, I give you guys permission. You can go buy cookies. So let's see. Let's check it out. So I'm just taking a little gesso. And let's just do a little painting. And you can do a little water, maybe just a little experiment here. Okay. So I'm just painting it on there. Smashing it down. And there you go. It definitely gives it something. Just like that. You got your little lines. So depending on what colors you want to use, I mean, we can even try a little bit of pink here. And I'll kind of use the white so it's not so... Oh my God, I'm scared to squish too much up. Maybe get a little bit of color on it. See where we want it. And then just press it down. So, yep, cookies work. So we definitely got to all go out and buy more cookies. And I would love to hear if you guys get a different kind of cookie. If you found a cool pattern on the bottom, if they're different. Let me know in the comments. Okay, so we got that. So check that off the list. And then for other lines, you can use corrugated, just cardboard. And then that will work too. So if you don't have cookies hanging around, whoops, I just got pink on my white gesso. There we go. And then you can wet it a little bit if you need to. So you just paint it on here. And then do another little press. And just rub it really good. Shake your whole table. And then there we go. So we're just giving it just a little more interest here. So check your cardboard boxes, rip them open, see how good. And you can have different size corrugated ones. There's thicker, there's thinner, there's a whole shebang of different kinds. So find different ones. And then bubble wrap. Sure, somebody's got bubble wrap somewhere. Just look through some stuff. Get your bubble wrap. Paint it on. Paint it. Okay. And then find a spot for it. And there we go. Let's do a press. And you don't need much paint or much gesso or anything like that. And there you go. Got yourself some more interest happening. Okay. So we did that. And now we got a bigger. You see, you can do different sizes. I did brown on this one. Let's do a little bit of brown. Just burnt umber. Let's see. Try not to get pink on everything. Let's see what pink and brown do. So yeah, just go ahead and I just have this bigger bubble wrap. And that just gives it a different look. And then you just press it down. Like that. So yeah, depending on how much you put on, how little you put on, is how much will show up. So just go through all your stuff, put your cookies in a Ziploc bag, use the container, the bottom part of it. Ooh, there we go. That's what I did. There, so there. We got a little more texture to play with. And then like I showed you guys, you can decoupage with a napkin. And I also have some other pretty napkins here. Like, you know, you can peel off the butterfly and paper towels, napkins. I mean, they all work. But yeah, I think, let me look through my stuff and make sure. Oh no, this is what I was wanting to show you guys too. So at the end here, I mean, then you can go through after it dries and do some stamping and all that stuff, and you know, use all your fancy stuff if you have it, and just keep adding on top of it. But toothbrush, everybody has an old toothbrush somewhere. So what you're gonna do is, I'm gonna get it wet and do a little dab here. Just whatever color you want, but get your toothbrush wet because you want it to kind of splat. And then you take your thumb and just go like this. And I want to make sure you guys can see this because it's kind of cool. So you just take it and see how it gives you the little spritzes. It kind of gives it a little splat. And then when you get it, you know, a little more paint on it, just experiment, get a little more wet, and then just kind of splat it like that. You could do that and give it some just different stuff happening, and then flick it with your thumb. So I'm just going like this, and you can see it gives it kind of that 80s vibe here. The splat paint. If anybody, I'm like aging myself here, but there we go. The splat, just, you know, however much you want to put on, or however little. And if you think you did too much, you can just grab here, a paper towel right here, just kind of splat it like that, dab it off, and voila. So what I am going to do is, because I did it like this on purpose, is I'm going to cut it, I want to cut it in half. So that's the back of it. And I'm going to cut it just in half and have it, so I have 2 pages in my journal to play with, to have go to, and yeah. And then I can add, you can add ruffles to the side, and just different, I mean, we can keep going. You can just keep on going. So whatever, look around, see whatever else you have. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to find more stuff and just anything around that. Oh, egg crate. I forgot to show you guys that one. See, there's so many things. So the bottom of an egg crate, you could take it and just paint it. Do a little painting, and you get the little X marks on the bottom. Or this part of an egg crate, you could do there's a little plus signs kind of right here. So just paint them and imprint it in, and yeah. So I just wanted to show you guys some things that you could do around the house that you can use. And show you guys the texture paste. So yeah, the household items and the texture paste on how to do that and put it all together. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit the like button. It helps my channel so much, and make sure to comment down below. I would love to hear your guys' favorite technique that you liked, and definitely go get some cookies, because yep, for sure, I'm giving you permission. And yeah, just keep on crafting, guys.